Hi, everyone. Well, this week you've got an assignment that is part of your discussion board, and it's a research assignment. So what I'd like to do is walk you through how to conduct the research that you need to do for the assignment and show you some government websites that you can use to do research. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so everybody can see my screen here. And what I am showing you here is the California Legislative Information website. And this website has a lot of different California legislative information, but specifically we're on the California Law tab. And so in the assignment for this week, in the discussion board, I've linked this website in so that you can reach it. And when you get there, you'll notice that you've got access to the California Constitution, as well as the codified statutes for California. So if you were conducting research, you could come here, and if you knew what codified statutes you wanted to go to, you could just select those codified statutes. I'm going to select education code, for example, and it would take you right into the statutes. And so here you can see the table of contents view for the education code. Sometimes when you're doing research, you know what codified part of the statute it's in, but it's not always that easy. So for example, you might be searching something that you think is in the education code, but really part of it's been codified over into health and safety code. So when you're doing research, sometimes you want to search more than just one code section or look at more than just one table of contents. So for the discussion board this week, what you're going to need to do is come up with a legal question and then develop some keywords in order to see if you can locate some statutes that help you resolve your legal question. So I've put an example in the assignment, and this is just my example so that I can show you how to do it. But I don't want you to research this issue. You need to come up with your own legal issue to research. So my legal question is, will I be liable if my dog bites a person? And from that legal question, I developed the keywords dog, bite, liability, and owner. So I'm going to go ahead and conduct a search. And in order to do that, you'll notice you start out on the code search. I'm going to move over to the text search. And I just want to make a quick comment on this text search field that you see. A lot of you are used to encountering some kind of searching capabilities on the internet or in different databases. Typically, when you're using this kind of interface in a database that you pay for, so in the legal world, for example, Westlaw or Lexis, the searching capabilities are just really robust and are designed with proprietary algorithms that can really help you locate information. What's nice is that government searches or government websites like this one have some text search capability. The downside to that is that these are not as robust as the ones that you'll find on the proprietary websites like Westlaw or Lexis. So this text search is more of an index searching. So it's going to look through all of the different statutes for whatever words you put in here, and then it's going to match your statutes to those words. And then it's going to use a Boolean style searching. We'll talk more about that next week, but limits your search and or expands your search. So what and does is it says, okay, I want you to bring me back any results that have the first word that I put in as well as the next word that I put in, but not just one or the other. I want my results to have all of the words that are separated by and. So let's play with this. With my question, will I be liable if my dog bites a person? If I were to put dog, bite, and liability in here, let's see what comes back. And before I can click the search button, you'll notice that I can select individual codified statutes or the California Constitution, or I can select all. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and select all and click search so we can see the results that come back. you can see we come back with two results. The first one, Civil Code 3342.5, and the second one, Penal Code 399.5. The Penal Code has to do with criminal liability, and I was looking more towards civil liability, so I'm going to go ahead and select this Civil Code section. I'll open this up, and right away, one thing that I want you to notice is here at the beginning, I'm able to go to the previous code section or the next code section, and I'm also able to go up. You'll also notice that here at the top, there is a little bit of a breadcrumb trail that helps me see where I'm at in the bigger schema of statutes. And if you'll remember in the reading, the organization and table of contents can sometimes be something that you use when you're doing research. So I just want to point out to you where those kinds of resources are. If I click up, it's going to take me into the bigger code section where I can see the different statutes that are closely related to the statute that I'm looking at. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back here to the statute we had, which is 3342.5. And you'll notice that the words that I searched are highlighted within the statute, so I'm able to see what I was talking about with this being a word index. When I put the search terms in, it's just going through and looking for statutes that have those specific words that I've selected to search in them. So you can see this is my statute, and I'm able to read the statute and see if it helps me answer my legal question. One note that I want to make to you is that in the assignment this week, one of the things that I ask is whether in this statute, whether you have to reply to your classmates and talk about whether the statute your classmate selects is maybe too general to resolve the legal issue that your classmate is trying to resolve by this. So in this statute, the question that I ask is, if a dog bites a person and afterward the owner puts up a taller fence, would that be enough to satisfy the requirements of reasonable steps necessary? And so you'll notice that in this statute, it says, the owner of any dog that has bitten a human being shall have a duty to take such reasonable steps as are necessary to remove any danger presented to other person from bites by the animal. So reasonable steps is kind of a fuzzy term. It's not a really clear term. We can't just decide, okay, well, I can't look at this and apply it and say, oh yes, this was reasonable or it wasn't reasonable. And I point this out because in the next module, we're going to start looking at case law. And you'll notice that as you start to read statutes, a lot of times the language of the statutes are too general to apply to any specific factual circumstance. And the case law really helps us suss out, very general language like this and come to specific resolutions on the factual basis of a specific case. So anyhow, this is how you would go about locating your statute that you will need for your discussion board. And before we go, I just want to point out that there is a federal website that has the United States Code titles. So this is the codified federal statutes. And you're also able to search within the United States Code. You won't need this for the assignment this week, but I wanted to show you that there is a governmental searchable web page that is for the United States Code. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions about the assignment this week, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to talk to you about it. And have a great week and good luck with your assignment. Thank you.